And boom, we are rolling. What's going on, guys? Welcome in. Take a seat and get comfortable. Hope you're having an absolutely marvelous day so far. Staying safe out there in this increasingly chaotic, crazy world we find ourselves in. It's great to see you all. So, on today's video, we're going to be checking out a band called Psithurism. I'm like 90% sure I said that right. And specifically, we're going to be checking out a track called Isolation, which comes off their album called The Hollowed. So, before we go any further, I didn't know what that word meant. I'd never seen it before, but apparently it is a noun, which means a rustling or whispering sound such as leaves through the wind. Don't say this channel doesn't ever teach you anything. So these guys are new to the channel. I only discovered this band recently. Let me break it down for you guys. So I stumbled across this band when I heard their track called Burnt at the Stake featuring Lindsay Miller. That came out, let me see, February 12th, 2023, so about a month ago on Beheading the Traitor. I stumbled across it. I listened to it. My comment that I left was, "This slaps. Those cleans are fire." Fire emoji, because, you know, I'm cool like that. So yeah, check the track out. Really, really liked it. And then, I think it was the same day, the band actually hit me up. And they said, "Thanks for the follow. Glad you found us on Beheading the Traitor. Would you be up for a reaction video? Seems like you dig what you heard so far." I certainly do. We're actually going to listen to that track as well, just so I can kind of, because I've listened to everything that these guys have done, because they're a new band on the channel. So I wanted to, like, you know, go back and, like, you know, really do like a bit of a deep dive into into all of their music, you know. But you know, if you're new around here, then okay. But if you're a regular here, you'll be like, Psithurism. I'm gonna say Psithurism. That sounds coolish. You'll be like, who the fuck are these guys? So I'll play you the song that I heard by them, just so we can kind of, like, you know, I can kind of catch you guys up a little bit. So I said, like, you know, the reaction sounds good. Any song in particular? And then they were like, you know, do you want to do Burned at the Stake? And I was like, well, I've already heard that track. All of my reaction videos are sincere. I don't listen to a song, see if I like it, and then do a reaction to it. They're all fresh reactions. So I was like, I've already heard that. And then they were like, okay, then how about try a track called Isolation? So, okay. And then there was a lengthy back and forth. You know, I was saying to them, you know, it might be a little bit of time. I like to do like a deep dive and, like, you know, really get, like, you know, an idea for what the band sound like, how you guys started, where you came from, all that type of stuff, so on and so forth. So that's how we actually got here. So kudos to the band for actually just going, "Thanks for checking out our shit. Would you like to do a reaction video?" You know, if you're a band that's like a fan of my channel, but you never knew if it was like appropriate or whatever to like hit me up for a reaction. The worst thing that will happen is that I just won't. Punching the shit out of my microphone there. The worst thing that will happen is that I just maybe won't be a big fan of your music, and I'll just say no. I would never shit on anyone, you know. But like be proactive. Be, you know, actually just, you know, if you know, just ask. You know what I mean? You never know. I might end up liking your shit, and we might be friends. You know. So always ask. You know, if you always. Oh my god, worst intro ever. Always ask. If you think, should I ask them, should I not, always ask. So this is the digging that I did. This is everything that they had on Spotify, and I cross-referenced this with everything that they've got on their official YouTube channel, and I'm pretty sure it matches up. Sometimes with bands, they'll have some like bootleg demo shit on their YouTube that they won't bother loading up to Spotify and like stuff like that, but I'm pretty sure this matches up. So 2019 self-titled album. These are the notes that I've got. Starts with a creepy intro, lots of ambience, lots of chugs, nice creepy narration style vocals, tempo switches, some nice guitar solos, and some clean vocals. Next, we go on to a single they released in 2019 called Bloodlust, and I've literally just written here more of the same. And when I say more of the same, I don't mean more of the boring same. It saves me just wearing my pencil out. You know what I mean? It's just like, but more of the same. Better mix and chunkier, much chunkier, and that's a common thing for these guys, that they've not just they've continued to improve their sound, and they've gotten heavier as times went on, and a lot of the time you'll see bands actually do that the other way around. They'll start really heavy, but then they'll start throwing in cleans and start throwing in more melodic elements and maybe some all that type of stuff. They'll do that stuff. These guys have done it in reverse. They've started lighter and they've actually incorporated more heavier stuff into the music, which is really, really cool. Then they released a track in 2020 called Sick, which is just the same as Bloodlust, just more of the same, better mix, and just chunkier, just more riffage, And then so this is an interesting reaction video, because the track we're gonna listen to Burned at the Stake first, but the track that we're going to be checking out is actually off an album called Hallowed, which came out in 2022. And the track Isolation that we're going to be checking out soon is the first track off that album. So I just started on track 2 and then just listened to that whole album. So I've got a general idea of what it's going to sound like, but intro tracks to albums usually have a little bit of like a unique flair to them. They sometimes that's where the broken chord picking will start, just to kind of like ease people into things. So it's an interesting reaction video we're doing here. I can't wait to check this out. But what I actually wrote for the Hallowed album is the main thing is it's much heavier, much heavier. I just literally wrote more deathcore. What I really probably should have said was a more deathcore sound, which I think is really cool. Going heavier, like I've said about 3 times so far, isn't usually something that you see. Most of the time, after a band's got to like their 3rd, 4th, sometimes 5th album, that's when like the clean vocals start kicking in. But these guys had cleans back in 2019 on the self-titled, and the Hallowed, unless I missed it, doesn't have any cleans on it, and it's a lot more kind of deathcore. And I can't speak highly enough about this dude's vocals as well. But everything that I said about the first one, the creepy intro, the ambience, the chugs, the tempo switches, all that, it's really, really eclectic deathcore. But there's little bits of metalcore, there's little bits of techie stuff here. It's very ambient, it's very unpredictable. The mix is great. It's really, really good stuff. But excuse me. I'm drinking brandy out of a Jack Daniels Tennessee honey glass, because I don't give a fuck. So let's listen to Burned at the Stake. Let's listen to this to get us into the mood. I love it. Like, I know that Lindsay Miller. I don't actually know who that is. I haven't Googled her. Like, maybe she's like super famous, and I'm just like sitting over here like totally fucking ignorant or whatever. But I know she's not like a permanent fixture of the band, but I kind of wish that she was, because though I love her vocals. Like, I need to Google her, see if she's done if she's in a band or she's doing other things, because those vocals were really nice, very very powerful. Very powerful, very varied, very brooding, very brooding vocals, especially for a female vocalist as well. Like female vocalists often like occupy like a higher register, but she was able to actually keep it like quite mid and actually like a little bit low, and it was a very brooding, powerful voice. Really, really, really good stuff. So that was my first. My first taste of Psithurism, and yeah, and go and check out the rest of their stuff as well, because I'm not going to throw any bands under the bus, but there's sometimes when like I'll hear a band and I'll check out some of their earlier stuff, and I'm like, yeah, it's okay. It's, you know, it's not bad. Didn't like, you know, didn't set my face on fire or anything, but like, you know, it's decent. But these guys have really been good, like since their self-titled album, you know. And again, going heavier, incorporating more kind of like deathcore stuff into their kind of like sort of metalcore-esque style, I guess you could call it. It's very cool. Kudos to them. Right. Okay. Without further ado. So, yeah, without further ado, I think we're ready to go. So a slightly, it's nice having a new band. It's nice having a new band on the channel, because a lot of the time I'm either doing bands that I've already heard, or I'm doing bands that are like only releasing like their second single. So it's actually been a while since I've actually done like a deep dive into a band's back catalogue and had to like, you know, take notes and spend like, you know, a good couple hours listening to them and stuff. So it's cool. I've not done it for a while. Actually, it's one of the more enjoyable. I love everything about this line of work, if you can call it work, but yeah, I love everything about it, but that especially. So yeah, it's been a lot of fun. And yeah, like I said, this is I've listened to this album, just not the first track, which is what we're going to check out now, which puts us in an interesting situation, I would say. So without further ado, let me just get a spare bit of paper here. Okie dokie. Right. Hold on. Yes, okay. Psithurism, The Hallowed, Isolation. Let's go. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. That was... Oh, that's the wrong window. That was exactly what I expected that to sound like. Psithurism. Isolation, ladies and gentlemen. Fucking loved that. Really, really enjoyed that. Right, so I'm still a little bit unsure exactly what category to put this band into, because at some moments they sound very, very much like a kind of modern, like bouncy, chug heavy metalcore band. But then in other instances, they sound very deathcore. The vocals especially are like much harsher than you would hear in kind of in like a kind of like standard kind of like, you know, modern metal, you know, modern metalcore song. So I'm not sure. Like, I'm not sure what these guys would be comfortable with. I think they'd probably call themselves metalcore, but like when I say metalcore, I don't mean like Kill Switch Engage. I don't mean like Atreyu. I'm probably showing my age by saying Atreyu, but you know, like they don't sound like that. It's definitely modern metalcore. Modern metalcore is quite a bit bouncier and more metallic-y than the kind of like, you know, the kind of older stuff was. You know, Bullet for My Valentine and all those types of bands, which I haven't listened to for ages. But there is definitely deathcore influences in there, like for sure. There's also some parts that sound like it's almost like Jint as well. Mainly the ambience. And the way not just the way the guitars are being played, but like the actual, but the actual like sound, the plugins, the effects pedals, whatever they're using, they're a very, very interesting band. They do a lot of stuff. So let's get into some of my notes here that I took. So I really liked this. That's the wrong bit. Oh God, adverts. I need to get myself some YouTube Premium, dude. Right, 1 minute in, we've got this groove section. Very bouncy. Very, very bouncy. You can't really imagine like a circle pit or a wall of death going on with that. You can't really, yeah, like you wouldn't like you can't picture like someone like fucking slam dancing and fucking spin kicking a 12-year-old that's just like, you know, like you can't imagine any of that kind of like knocked loose style violence going on to that. You can literally just imagine the crowd from the front to the back just fucking jumping, you know? So that's very metalcore. But what I liked as well is that you had the lows and then you had the highs kind of like alternating, like there. Like, it's very cool. It's very, very cool. These guys don't do anything simple. Even just a kind of quote unquote standard bouncy metalcore section. They just do things in there just to keep it interesting. You know, it's very, very cool. Very, very cool stuff. Okay. 2 minutes and 10 seconds. I've literally just written atmosphere here, which I've spelled wrong because I'm a fucking idiot. Let's go. Very cool. Very, very, very cool. Very, very landscapey, very brooding, very just I was right to write just atmosphere there, despite the fact that I spelled it wrong, because again, I'm an idiot. Really cool. Never a boring moment with these guys. There was on this album. There was never a section where I was like, all right, come on, right, cool, yep, okay, you're okay, ambience. Let's get back to another groove. You know, that there was none of that. Like, it's 31 seconds and 31 minute 45 second album, and there's no parts that you skip on at all. There's nothing that you really skip with these guys in the slightest, but this album especially. Right, last bit, 3 minutes in. Yes, the guitar solo. Right, let's go. Right, from here. I'm just going to cut in here actually just before the solo starts. If you were to isolate those vocals, those are deathcore vocals. They're very, very raspy, very kind of goblin-esque. You don't hear too much of that in metalcore. You know, you hear a lot of false chord, a lot of fry, maybe a couple of gutturals, but that had a very blackened deathcore vibe to it. I just wanted to highlight that, and then I'll actually get to the guitar solo section. Got a little bit lost there and was just actually just legitimately jamming out. But Psithurism, Isolation, taken off the album The Hallowed. Fucking awesome. And this is coming from a guy that isn't like the biggest fan of metalcore, mainly because I find that after a while of listening to a metalcore band, it starts to get a little bit samey. I find that something that I really like about deathcore, especially, is that how varied deathcore is now. Like, there's guys putting like trap beats in their deathcore songs. There's symphonic elements. Like, there's a band called The Head of the Traitor, which are very symphonic. Then you've got you've got your blackened deathcore guys, and then you've got your OG deathcore guys, and then you've got your kind of like modern sounding like deathcore, kind of like, you've got your kind of your Belvy Booth, you've got your Ectoplasm, you've got bands that I feature. I'm gonna shout out my boys because I featured them on the channel before, but you've got a lot of variety with a lot of variety and a lot more. It's seemingly a lot more room to experiment when it comes to deathcore. So, for that reason, I'm not like the biggest fan of metalcore, but these guys are definitely one of the finest metalcore bands that I've heard for a while. And the reason is because they just is because you never know what's coming next. Are they going to do a guitar solo? Is it going to get atmospheric? Is it going to bounce? Is the vocalist? Are the vocals going to start popping off? Like, there's a lot of variety here, which is why I really, really just enjoyed listening to these guys. Because, like I said, sometimes researching bands, I can, I don't necessarily like a lot of their earlier stuff. It can kind of be like a little bit of a slog because they're kind of just starting out and they just want to see how they sound once the music's been mixed and mastered and it's up on Spotify and everyone is listening to it and stuff. There's a lot of like kind of experimentation, but these guys, it was not a slog at all. It was an absolute pleasure checking out all of their stuff. So, that was exactly what I expected that to sound like, but there was still surprises in it, if that makes sense. So, kudos, nice work for the from the boys of Psithurism. So, as per usual, if you scroll down, you will find links to the band's social media, like TikTok, Facebook. If they've got a TikTok, they've probably got a Facebook, probably got an Instagram. You'll find links to all of that. Go follow them on all of those, like all their posts, leave them a comment, share their posts, watch their story, do all that type of shit. Buy some merchandise. Links will be down for that as well. You'll have links to their Apple Music, to their Amazon Music, to their Prime Music, to their Spotify, to whatever else. Go stream the shit out of all of their stuff, blow up their latest single, listen to the rest of their stuff, like so on and so forth. Just do whatever you can to support, because these guys are really, they've become one of my favourite bands in a very, very short space of time. And it all literally just came from me just surfing the web. I just happened to stumble across them. They hit me up. Do you want to do a reaction? And here we are, you know? It's fucking cool. I love this. Love doing this, guys, honestly. It was never a chore. I love doing this shit. So, yeah, one more time. Psithurism. Isolation, the first track taken off the Hallowed. Fucking great album. Go check it out. All their stuff's good, but go check that one out in particular. It's a really, really strong album. Yeah, go blow that shit up. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I'm 99.99999% sure that you did. Thank you very much for joining me, and I will catch you all on the next one. Love you all very much. Peace.